Fanboy Modeling School.
In HD, and I'm here with my man and partner in crime,
Steve Nino Gimmicks, also in HD, hi-fi audio fidelity. There, I finally said it right for once. Filter there.
How you doing, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I love our little venting sessions prior to the podcast, and none of you people
almost more than the podcast, right? That's really why you do it.
Like, you know, we should release those green rooms one day so people can hear the insanity.
I would be arrested.
Yeah, you would. There's no doubt.
Guys, this is the Fanboy Modeling School right here from RizRadio.com, RizRadio.com, or Live 365. Tune into the Fanboy Modeling School Monday through Thursdays at 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. over on Riz Radio, but you can also catch these live streams right here on pretty much any app. We're streaming on every app, even apps you've never heard of. Yeah, like Jigglypoof and Dingle Dong.
The Diddler. Oh, sorry.
That joke will never get old.
We'll never let it get old.
Okay, so let's hint people into exactly what conversation are they walking into the middle of? Well, we were in the green room and we started right before we went live talking about Candace Owens, and I was like, that woman drives me nuts. And Steve wanted me to elaborate.
Yes. What about her drives you nuts? Is it like her potential or the fact that
certainly that doesn't drive me nuts, but that does irritate me that she had such potential. Like basically she could be like, you know what I'm saying? Like she could be one of a serious journalist right now, but she chose her path to, instead of being a serious journalist, to be an ultra troll with endless conspiracy theories. Apparently she's an ex-woman and Charlie Kirk was an ex-man,
right?
And time travelers as well. And so she wasted on all of that. And so anytime she opens her mouth, it's just like, it's a disaster.
Yeah, it's a disaster waiting to happen. And the funny thing about it is I can't stop watching it. Like, I have not sat through an entire one of her 2-hour-long podcasts ever. Yeah. But I cannot not look at the clips of whatever it is she's saying because I just don't know what she's going to say. And I love just as much as that people's coverage of her. Like, it's like liberals, conservatives, and the same flabbergasted look
because they don't know what they're looking at. And like her obsession with Erica Kirk is so pathetic and sad. She makes everything about her. Like she thinks that Erica Kirk has has speeches or has presentations to annoy her.
Yes, they're all about her. Everything Erica Kirk is doing is to diminish Charlie Kirk's reputation and his legacy, and to upset her, which I just find absolutely amazing. You know what I find amazing is how much hate Erica Kirk gets on the internet. It's the craziest thing, bro.
It's a byproduct of the sinful nature of humanity. But yes, it is crazy that a grieving widow, is the target of so much smack talk, so much conspiracies. And also the way, I gotta say, Candace Owens almost acts like she was Charlie's ex-girlfriend. I'm gonna put it out there.
That's why I released that post on the Hold Up TV on IG a few months back. The comparison between Jada Pinkett and Candace Owens. I'm like, what do these two women have in common? They're both clearly in love with dead men and live off their legacy.
Yeah, exactly.
And in Jada Pinkett's, context, I'm obviously talking about Will Smith, the man that she committed murder on, spiritually,
and not Tupac, because she had been milking that cow for quite some time.
Yeah. I remember when the Tupac movie came out, and she was just beside herself because I don't think if I remember correctly, she wasn't represented in the movie, or they didn't get her input about who he was, and I'm like, B-word, please.
So basically, they're both narcissistic women that make everything about themselves, and
right.
including the fact that they're in the orbit of wealthier or more powerful or more entertaining people.
Yes, it's true. Welcome in, Bex. Welcome in.
Bex, what up, girl? Holla at your boy. It's the pink princess herself. Bex, thank you for coming through. The queen and star of the soon-to-be Riz Radio show. Bex rated. How are you, girl?
Hip-hop fans are patiently waiting Bex's show the same way they're waiting for The Chronic in 2000 or The Chronic.
Yeah, well, rumor has it that Bex is going to premiere on July 4th. That's the rumor.
That's the rumor. Hey, speaking of soccer, some honorable mentions.
He said, speaking of soccer, what? You got a mystery chat over there that I don't know about where people are talking about soccer?
Always. I'm always arguing with Hebrew Israelites on this side of the screen. I'm just like,
he says on this side of the screen, they're in his room. They got a drum circle going right now.
Oh no, it was a July 4th thing. I should have said. Speaking of July 4th, obviously patiently and anxiously waiting for Bex's premiere. I'll be there to enjoy it with everyone else. But America versus England, is this a real thing in the World Cup?
So out of nowhere, this is bizarre. So normally in the World Cup, the last couple of World Cups, America has not even qualified. That's how bad our men's team is, right? All of a sudden, and I blame Trump. I think Trump is the one fueling this. All of a sudden, our team is kicking butt right now. And in their division right now, they're the head of all these other countries. That should be spanking us.
Wow. Go ahead, continue.
So my theory is, and I know people are saying, are you trying to imply that the spirit of America and Trump has filled these people to fight harder? No, I'm saying the reason. Here's what I'm saying: he gets ICE to deport all these people. They're all in cages, and then he goes to their best soccer players, and he's like, "You want to stay here, do you?" Gives them some fake paperwork and puts them on the team. That's my theory.
You know what you got to do, Rico.
What up, Rogue Radio?
Starship Trooper reference. What up, Rogue Radio? GTA 6 before Bex Radio.
Which will both, that's right. I said July 4th. I didn't say what year, which will premiere in the summer of 2031.
Yeah. Right before the Ray movie.
What up, Coy? What up, Coy? I just came out of a coma from botched gender reassignment surgery. Did Kamala win?
Oh, wow.
I love it when I go in dry. When I just read a comment and don't prep it yet first. Don't know what I'm saying. Love that. Thank you so much. Strangely, I am too always arguing with the Hebrew. Yeah, you too. I mean, they like to argue with the people that like to shit on the most are other black people.
Oh, 100%. I know for a fact Bex is out there arguing with them because, we have strong opinions. I'm definitely in their comments like, "Dear Jafar, I really enjoyed your work in Aladdin." I thought you got a bum rap. Oh, man. Fanboy Modeling School, the place to be, brother.
What a blow.
You know what's crazy, man? More honorable mentions. I thought this is a main topic, but we're going to get into the main topic. But I just want to talk about this portion. This is how disconnected from Supergirl that I am.
Okay.
It came out this weekend. I purposely was like, I'm not going to see it. I'm not
right. And you didn't even have the right. That's how little respect you had for it. It didn't even come out this last weekend. It's this next weekend. But yeah, I mean, we got to talk about that. And so let's get into entertainment right now while we're at it. Why don't we jump right into Supergirl?
Let's jump right into her. I mean,
so people,
you know what I mean.
So before
with consent,
people have slowly been dropping. The people who do the projections for movies, at first they thought Supergirl would start with a 6 in front of it, meaning it would earn something in around the $60 million range for a domestic opening. And then like a month later, it was that they changed it to the 50s, 50 million, right?
Right.
And then they said 40. And you know what the latest report is?
What?
30
million opening?
Yeah, which is already pathetic. And you know what? I'm going to do one even worse than them. You know why? Because those projections always go on the brighter side.
Right.
I'm willing to bet that it will make in the $20 million range.
Wow.
You know how much Toy Story 5 just opened with?
I didn't even know it was out. How much?
160 million domestic. That's straight up American dollars, my friend.
And not no yins and yangs. Berlin says, I'm known for pull-ups like gym class. Welcome in, Berlin.
What up? How's it going, Berlin? So the question is, so here's what it is. I'm trying to calculate and trying to figure out how to crack the code of making a positive female superhero movie that people want to go to. I think I've figured it out. But let me ask you, why do you think people don't want to see Supergirl?
So there's a few different reasons. I'll start with the low-hanging fruit. White men with mics. Hear me out. Yeah. And the culture we currently exist in on the internet, right, where everyone can have an opinion about everything, as they should, something strange has happened within the last 10 years. The opinions of people, thought pieces, content creators, social engineers have started to actually impact industries, right? They impact industries in regards to Target, and obviously they clearly have impacted the industry of filmmaking, right? Yeah. So you have an entire business system dedicated to pooing on anything that doesn't fit into what they consider their purest view. And sometimes I'm guilty of that. But I think one of the reasons this movie is going to suffer, no matter what the quality of it is partially because of that. Notice how I'm not villainizing these guys. They have the right to their opinion. They should be allowed to express their opinion. But more people will probably tune in consistently over a year basis for that than Disney, Star Wars, and James Gunn superhero movies, because it's more fun to make fun of it and point out what's wrong with it and where it's gone terribly wrong and how it can't go back. Number two, and the most important point, this movie is going to bomb potentially because no one ever in the history of my life as a comic book reader, completely my perspective, has ever said to me, man, I can't wait till they make another Supergirl movie.
I think that although I doubt you took a poll on that, I'm willing to bet your theory is solid. It sounds real to me.
They call it football over yonder, where they call whoa.
So that is the thing, and so there's several things he's going into, which I cannot believe that he decided to go into this, right? So he just had a Superman movie, and instead of making a Batman or Wonder Woman or even a Green Lantern movie, he decides to do a Supergirl movie. Who she's not a B character, she's a C-level character. Let's get real. Right. She's also in the same family, power set, and storyline as a movie we just saw. Right. So people might be already Superman out. You know, they want to see something else. So why go straight into Supergirl? Don't even make any sense to me. Right. But there is another factor. I understand why these movies are bombing. Like, for instance, the Marvels. Right. After people got a taste of what Captain Marvel was like, I figure it out. So here's what it is. Female superhero movies that people want to see. Wonder Woman made $900 million at the box office. No one really complained about it, right?
Right.
Black Widow, although that movie was not what we were expecting, people wanted to see it. They at least tuned into it when it was, because it did a joint release of both theaters. This was during the pandemic and Disney Plus. But even though it didn't make all that money, it made like 500 million. A lot of people saw it on Disney Plus, right? Yeah. So people were wanting to see this, as opposed to Captain Marvel movies, right? And this chick, and I figured out what it is. Do you know what the difference between those two groups are?
What?
Wonder Woman and Black Widow are women we'd want to date.
Right.
And Captain Marvel and this alcoholic Supergirl version of Supergirl are women we'd want to avoid in real life.
Or hopefully at this stage in our life, understand we need to avoid.
We need to avoid. But so that in this movie, they have Supergirl is depressed. She's mean, she's hated, and she has she's wearing a trench coat over her superhero costume because she doesn't want to rep the colors.
Right.
And she's a drag. Who would want a girlfriend like that?
So over at the Rumble comments, Berlin says that I'm seeing the title and see failing Star Wars. I thought they'd be making a comeback, especially since they got Maul and got a Maul movie show coming out. It was a show and it was really good, Berlin. He says, I don't know if it's a movie or a show, but it looks good. Not gonna lie, the Clone Wars showed a little bit of what Maul did on the on Mandalore. Right. This might be well received. Well, by me only. Nope. A lot of people loved Maul. And then he goes on to say, now I want to go back and watch Ahsoka fight Maul and power check him by telling him you're lucky Anakin didn't show up.
Yeah, well, we'll get into Star Wars in just a minute, but various intelligent comments, right? All bundled up in that one.
I want to comment on what you just said, man, about people not being drawn to this version of Supergirl. I have a hard time. Stop hating on Rachel Maddow.
It's so far the comment of the night.
So here's the thing, right? I don't even think it's just that people aren't attracted to Supergirl. My guy, it's Supergirl. We got to start separating what's gonna draw on the masses versus what's niche in the comic book world. I know Supergirl has had some interesting arcs and stories. The arc they based this movie on was supposed to be really good, but it's not one of those things where it's gonna draw people in. You missed the boat. The girl power boat pulled up to comic book movies, took a deuce, she got drunk, and she left with the other guy.
Thank God.
like it's over. I feel like sometimes this industry is that guy that's like, she's coming back, bro. He's just her friend. I mean, they met in college. I'm not insecure. Yeah, bro. No, she's banging him. And it's not going to be that way, man. I honestly think the reason Wonder Woman did so well was because for a second we thought we were going to get a true take on Wonder Woman, this gritty Amazonian character, because when she showed up in Batman versus Superman, that Wonder Woman, that fight, the initial fight with Doomsday, I challenge you to go back and watch that. There were moments I was like, oh, Wonder Woman's got hands. She's got
as a matter of fact, I think she was repping harder than either Batman or Superman in that fight. Here's what I'm saying. I liked Wonder Woman. The only thing I didn't like was that final battle because it was heavy CGI nonsense, but a lot of superhero movies do that.
Right.
But I'm just saying, I think that having these this is basically the girl boss all over again, right? Yep. Taking qualities that are usually associated with males and throwing them on women. And I'll be like, I'll tell you what, we'll do a different version of Supergirl. She'll be depressed and she'll hate people and she'll be bitter and she'll be a smart ass.
Yep.
And it's like, who wants to be around that?
You want me to pay to hang around a nagging, sarcastic woman?
Who drinks too much? Who drinks too much?
No. Welcome back, Carbon. No, man, I dig that. So the thing about Black Widow too was, come on, man. Our first real exposure to her was Iron Man 2. She repped in that, and then we seen her again in Avengers. Basically, from the moment she shows up on the scene in Avengers, I'm like, bro, this is absolutely amazing. And Black Widow is this femme fatale, voluptuous woman who kicks butt, and then she does that on the movie theater, and on the big screen. So it translates well, man. And then
it really does
into this whole thing where it's like you can ask yourself questions about power scaling, like how did Hawkeye and her survive such a right? I've always pictured a real Avengers movie where they did not make it out of that scenario. And I thought that was the one good thing out of Avengers 2 was that one villain finally said, target the weak ones. That's why people were drawn to Black Widow. And that trailer for Black Widow, the movie, after seeing her death clearly in Endgame, the trailer hit hard. I remember when that trailer first dropped and we got a first look at Taskmaster. I was like, all right, I'm going to F with this. I'm going to F with
right.
it. But
Right.
looking at the Supergirl trailers, there's not been one trailer yet where I'm like, I need to see this.
Right. And so here's the thing. I'm starting to feel guilty, and you need to help me out on this one. Normally, Mantis doesn't give a damn what people think or feel. But the question is, am I a sexist
Yes.
if I don't go see this movie?
No, you're not a sexist. You're a person that values the dollars in his pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, let me ask you this question. Would you not be seeing the movie because it's a female lead? Like how people
No. As a matter of fact, if you just told me there's a new $150 million Supergirl movie out, and I never saw a trailer, I would show up. I'd go. But what it is they're nailing their own coffin shut. Right. Every time I see a trailer, like you said, it does negative to its rep, not positive, right? Every time I'm like, that villain just looks totally lame. This chick seems like a bitch. And not in a fun way.
Carmen wants to know if you're cheap. Is that why you're not going to see the movie?
I value my time, homegirl. Do you just watch any movie willy-nilly? You're just like, here's $20 and 2 hours of my life.
You know what? That I felt that, man. 2 hours of my Sunday, my day off on the weekend, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get this back. I could have been at home sitting on the couch. Right. Monday.
I feel like I have to see it just so I can be in the know, but at the same time, I have no desire to see this. I assume you see what they're doing about her whole looks. Like people are calling her ugly.
No. I haven't been in that part of the internet.
Do you remember a little show? I believe it was called The Land of the Lost.
Yes.
Do you remember that the humans met this little freakish boy with a freaky face, and he looked like he was a caveman. He was like a Neanderthal, but they put like prosthetics on him. Yeah. People have been AIing him in a Supergirl costume and making him Supergirl. And if you listeners, anyone who's listening to the stream has not seen this, you need to get on Twitter. You need to look for it. Just hashtag Supergirl. Check it out. It's hysterical and it's fucking cruel. I mean, I feel bad for the actress.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm about to give you some inside baseball talk. If you're over on Rumble, don't get mad at me about this. Mantis has had some equipment failure, right? Lost the ring light. So there's a little dollar sign right down there. Give to your boy Mantis so I
can get a new ring light. I'm being lit by a cell phone right now. Cell phone flashlight. So. Why is my lighting that bad?
No, it's not bad at all. I just dawned on me. I'm like, hey, this is a great way to ask for money.
Yeah, basically this is being held together with popsicle sticks and gum.
Yeah, man, I'm not amped about Supergirl. Another complaint or critique I have, and we've said this ad nauseum, and now I guess it's just either go see it or shut up type of situation, is James Gunn's rendition of superhero movies will always be typecasted as another Guardian Galaxy.
Yes.
Galaxy. So whether that's actually true or not, the narrative is so deeply embedded in my mind that I can't unring that bell.
Well, here's what it is. I really like the movie Superman, but I have to say that middle act, when he goes to the prison, right, it was so Guardians of the Galaxy. It was so weird and bizarre, weird aliens and wacko stuff. He's literally in a he falls into a molten cosmic river, a rainbow river, where he's holding a green baby and fighting guys at the same. I'm like, what am I watching?
With a dog flying around.
Yeah, with a flying dog and a squiggle man, as Mr. Terrific calls him. It was just totally insane.
I used to party with
Slee Stacks. That's what they call Slee Stacks.
I think what we're going to get out of this weekend is it is going to underperform, but I think that it's going to overperform and it's underperforming. I think that enough people will go see it where it won't be 20 million, but I'm looking at a soft, flaccid 30 million, maybe
30 million. Okay. That's your money. I'm going to say 20. Because remember, some have really blown our minds. Like, for instance, remember how hard the Marvels flopped?
Oh, yes.
that was crazy how little money it made. It was like, oh my God.
Had you seen it in the theaters with me, I was like, this is trying to be bad. Like, there wasn't a part of that movie where I was like, this has to be intentional. Like, they just told everyone to do whatever they want. They were like, just go for it.
Oh man. And so I'm sick of this stuff. And a lot of people will be like, oh, you're just hating on female superheroes. That's not the case. I love female superheroes. As a matter of fact, 90% of my fantasies are about female superheroes. Okay. So how could I discriminate against? That's my point. That's the point I'm making, right?
If I want to do horrible things to myself while looking at you, that means I respect you.
Right, but not Supergirl, not this Supergirl. Maybe the one from TV.
I don't think this girl is ugly, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
James Gunn is very good at certain things, not all, though.
Those things work for every movie. Yeah, no, I agree. I absolutely agree. And so the thing is so check this out. He will, because here's what I'm saying. There's the whole rumor is this might lead to him getting fired.
I could see how, like, if this underperforms.
So Superman made what they expected, right? It was in the 600 range, right? A 600 million range, right? So he did Superman, and then he's produced, but obviously his stink is all over Supergirl, which is probably going to flop, right? Let's get real. And then by the time he gets fired, he will have finished filming Superman 2, The Man of Tomorrow, right? So all he will have produced is a Peacemaker show that failed, and 3 Superman movies. And he's supposed to be the head of the freaking DC. This is a problem.
You know who's looking really good right now? The Rock.
I would love it if the Ellisons came back, and they don't need to necessarily bring back the Snyderverse, but that would be funny if they were like, James, you're out, Rock, you're in. They tag him in, and it's Black Adam in every movie.
Derpy, welcome in. Yeah, that would be absolutely amazing. I would be 100% into that.
Just say you're a Snyder bro, man. I'm not a Snyder bro, but
I mean, Snyder did it right when the Snyder Cut was coming out. He condescended down to the world of internet content creators, did a whole tour meeting up with people, except for Grace Randolph and Campy. I
She's
believe.
An animal. She's an animal. But here's what I'm saying. I'm not a Snyder bro. You know why? Because a lot of the movies he produced or had, was affiliated with really just sucked. Yeah. Snyder's very, I don't know what to say about him. Sometimes he's great. Sometimes he's garbage. It's a whole thing.
They canceled his show on Netflix, man, Twilight of the Gods. And I was actually really looking forward to the second season. That was a really, really intense show, man. Like, it's very intense. I mean, so intense. When you find out that one of the characters possibly cannibalized a small child, or to some effect, it was one of those scenes where someone's recounting their sins right before they go into the next level. Real old school anime, like
right.
I was a wretch of wretches, and then he gets a power up. But it turns out this guy might have eaten a child. Not sure. Never went back to watch it again.
So that reminds me of. I don't know if you know this, but do you know about Japanese Voltron?
I thought Voltron was Japanese. So
the one we got was a highly edited version of the original. It wasn't called Voltron in there. It's like, Jungle Cat Attack Force, whatever, has some crazy name like that, right? And in the original, if you watch the Japanese version of it, there's scenes of cannibalism, drinking the blood of the conquered, killing children. It was a brutal science fiction anime back then. And these idiots decided, they were like, we're going to just cut out all the brutal parts and call it something fun and market it for, Saturday morning cartoon.
Someone get Hasbro back on the phone. Yeah, I mean, well, it has to come from a brutal world to produce a robot like Voltron. Just think about the power scaling of that thing. It's like, he had a huge sword, bro. That thing was meant for cleaving. But how does this relate to Supergirl? All those things are drastically cooler than what we're going to get on.
Right. And here's what it is. I'm worried that if they fire James Gunn, they're going to just say, oh, DC isn't working. Let's just not make DC movies.
Derby pointed out something good. So his career would be, if he gets fired after this, it would be Superman, Supergirl, Lanterns, and then the new Superman movie.
Right. So Clayface and Lanterns will have come out by the time the Ellisons take charge. And so, and I'm it's not looking good for, in my opinion, Lanterns. I don't know how you felt about the trailer.
I felt better about the second trailer than the initial one we got, but again, so death by comparison. I don't know who started this rumor, but man, they had to be an op when they were like, this is going to be the true detective of DC Comics. I'm like, those two things shouldn't overlap.
Right. Why Green Lantern is the most spacey, whatever, right? He's always in outer space. Why would you make that like True Detective?
Yeah. Like, why would we want something like that?
But that's the problem. Remember, so James Gunn is the head of it, and so I understand that he didn't direct Supergirl, and he didn't necessarily, he's not the showrunner of Lanterns, but he's the leader, which means he gets all the victory points, but he gets all the losses too.
Yep. Yes, Berlin. Clayface is a real thing. It had a decent trailer too. Got a lot of people excited, upset some people, but that's going to be James Gunn's legacy. Now, what do we do if this movie actually doesn't bomb? Where do we go from there? Like, in the off chance that people show up in droves to go see this, what do you do?
See Supergirl or Clayface?
Supergirl.
Well, then you know what? I will say it's a victory. But here's the problem. Here's basically what it is. I want James Gunn to learn what he's doing is bad, but I don't want him to be fired. You know what I'm saying? And so, right. But the lesson would be, don't go to the movie so it flops. But if he flops, he could get fired. So I don't know how to make this happen.
Digital is what you're saying. They're about to kick him out the office. It's like, oh wait, the digital numbers are in.
Right. Yeah, and he says Snyder stuff isn't coming back. Even if Gunn goes, DC will be completely sold. Paramount don't give a shit. No, I mean, I'm not. Here's what it is. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go in reverse. I'm not looking for another Snyder revamp or whatever, right. or whatever the Snyder boys are all about.
You know what's crazy? Best promotion on streamboo.org. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Thank you. You must be a really nice soul to have passed us that message.
That's some more internet subterfuge right there, man. Like, whoever started this rumor that James Gunn's Snyderverse was going to be reinstated on Netflix, you guys are insidious. You sit in front of your computers all day long, just pumping the internet full of friggin'.
I don't know who I'm quoting right now, but a real man knows when he's defeated.
Yes.
And you know what I'm saying. And so, guys, we had fun with the Snyder cut. Enjoy the Snyder movies that you had. It's not coming back,
Fast forward next year, Snyder's been reinstated.
Yeah. What would be funny? You know in the age we live in, you know what's probably going to happen? They're going to fire James Gunn, and they're going to say, we're appointing an AI to be in charge of DC. And they're thinking, can't get worse.
No, it can't hurt. Yeah, it's a tragic situation. I won't pivot yet. Do you any final thoughts on Supergirl?
Just why? Why? And I know people are like, Mantis, why do you care so much? As we all know, I'm a comic book fan and I'm a nerd and I'm into superheroes and stuff. And just make good shit. Just stop fucking around. Stop doing like, what the fuck was Peacemaker, James Gunn? What was that? I had fun with it, but I'm just saying there's a million other shows they could have made. Like, why are you dicking around?
Suicide Squad 2. So his legacy will be Suicide Squad 2 got him in. Supergirl's gonna get him out because you can't use that same formula in every.
And here's what I'm saying: I love Suicide Squad 2. I loved it.
It was a great movie.
I actually think it's better than any of his Guardian movies, in my opinion.
100%.
Yeah. So. It is what it is. Whoever they end up getting, and so I'm just gonna say this as like a super nerd. Instead of getting a celebrity that likes to write and direct, they need to get someone who wants to be a producer, like Kevin Feige, somebody who doesn't care if their name is, they're the director or they wrote it. A guy who knows how to hire the right talent, not be the talent. Because right now, James Gunn wants to be the focus of it all.
He's the Sean Combs of movie making.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, guys, I'm having a white party. Yeah, there's gonna be underage bitches over here. Right? So you're like, slow down, brother. You're just supposed to bring us superhero movies.
Burton says, not gonna lie, Mortal Kombat 1 makes me want to check out Peacemaker. Sonic Boom. Is it legal for her to drive cars to vote in that movie? Oh, it's a good question. She's an intergalactic immigrant. It's a good question. It's a good question.
These alien immigrants. Yeah. I'm kidding, guys. Here's the thing about this DCU. I don't think that you can reboot. I think you find someone to replace him to continue the vision of DCU or to sell it to Disney. I actually totally agree with you.
I agree with this comment.
Here's what it is. Normally reboot, but I do agree. At this point, it's so early in the phase. You could replace him and keep going with David Corden-Sweat and just like expand. And I'm definitely sick of reboots every 5 minutes.
No more origin stories, man. Actually, Spider-Man. What was the first Spider-Man movie?
Yes, he is.
What was the first Spider-Man movie in
Tobey Maguire?
No, in Marvel MCU. What was the first Spider-Man movie named? I forgot.
Oh, Homecoming.
Yeah. So
I didn't care for it.
Yeah, it was very teeny bopperish, but they completely said no origin story.
We have not seen. I actually really like that. We have not seen a scene of Uncle Ben dying.
Nope.
I'm so thankful of that because I've seen it so many times.
Bro, I'm telling you, I'm sticking with my guns on this one. The death of Aunt May in No Way Home was the Uncle Ben event in that universe, and they were just like, boom.
In this new next coming one, which by the way, Spider-Man has broken records on ticket sales right now.
Really?
Pre-orders, yeah. Oh. And it looks like that's happening in the second trailer, and they have him at her gravestone, and he's like kissing it or whatever. And so I'm fine with that. Just don't show me his origin again, please.
We don't need to do that. Just like we don't need an X-Men origin movie. We just don't. I don't care. So people are like, no, you need an origin. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't.
So I agree with you. We don't need one, but we're getting one. So you remember what they're doing, right?
Yeah, they're doing the original X-Men.
The original X-Men. Yes, they're doing.
You know what? Then why don't we just give Angel a bazooka? And then we can have
I'd be into it. Especially since you know who my theory Angel is, right?
Who?
Oh, this is going to piss so many of you off, and everyone's going to be like, Mantis, you're so stupid. But you know what? Mantis is so smart. So check this out. So there's different rumors, and if you piece the rumors together, it all makes sense. So there was a rumor that they're going to gender bend Angel, right? And meanwhile, there's also rumors that they're in talks with Sydney Sweeney. And everyone starts saying, Sydney Sweeney, blonde white woman, she must be playing Emma Frost. How could she play Emma Frost? She's not a good actress. She can't do an English accent. How is that possible? And I said to myself, wait a minute. She's not playing Emma Frost. She's going to play the new Angel.
Berlin says Aunt May dying was more sad. Respect to Aunt May, but damn, she was fine. And now on to the Sydney Sweeney potential, gender bending stuff. Why? First of all, this is all speculation. None of this has been confirmed. But why? Why would you do something like that? What? You got to help me out here, bro. Because I said this one day in jest, and I thought it was maybe could possibly be true. Do they feel as if though they are fighting the civil rights battle of our era, and they're like, we have to stick to our guns on it?
The average liberal thinks that they're always bringing up civil rights. They're like, this is the age of the civil rights, all right? Because they're trying to jump on that energy because they're narcissists who want to be in a textbook.
Yeah.
Which is idiotic. But here's what I'm saying: in this day and age, you can't have the dynamics of the original X-Men anymore, where it's everyone's a guy except this one girl, Jean Grey, right? You can't do that anymore. An example, and I'll tell you, an example is Fantastic Four. So they've got three guys, and they've got a girl, and they had to turn the Silver Surfer a woman. Why? Because of politics nowadays, because of gender politics. It's how they cast nowadays. You'll never see. So here's what it is. We got 4 X-Men. We've got a Professor X. We've probably got a Magneto, I'm assuming. That's at least 7 main characters who are men. And then what? We've got Jean Grey, the only woman. That's never going to work. And so it only makes sense that they gender bent one person. I'm not saying I love it. I'm just saying I'm thinking like a Disney executive.
Wait. I know you're thinking as a Disney exec, so I'm just going to rebuttal as a neckbeard conservative.
Okay.
Why wouldn't it work? Haven't we seen that, like, by the laws of logic, if what you're doing isn't working, why would you assume the other thing isn't going?
Oh, right. So here's what I'm saying. To you and me could watch a movie like that, we'd be fine.
Right.
Like whatever, right? It's not a thing. But to them, they're going to say, we don't have enough diversity. We don't have, like, for instance, they even did it with Fantastic Four with of course, they got the whitest Latino they could get, but they made Mr. Fantastic a Latino because they tried to create diversity. They tried to manufacture it when it doesn't exist, right?
Right.
And let's all admit it. I have no problem with Pedro Pascal, but let's admit it. Reed Richards is a white man.
Like, he's like,
he may be the original white man, right? He was the original white man. So
all other ones are gotten from him,
and that's why they said, well, they're like, make him Latino, but don't make him one of those dark ones.
This will never go over well.
And I'm saying the executives probably went home after they casted Fantastic Four, patting themselves on the back, and they're like, "Oh, look at this! We're so dynamic! A white Latino and a woman Silver Surfer, right?" They were so into it. And now, those things didn't destroy the movie. I'm not saying they would. Right. But I'm just thinking like a Disney executive, and I have a feeling that they're probably not going to let that cast of the original X-Men be all dudes. And I would rather them gender bend Angel than Professor X or Beast or an important character.
I mean, yeah, that's like the difference between do I want my throat slit or do I want to be stabbed in the stomach?
No, it isn't. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say. Before Angel became Archangel, nobody gave 2 shits about that dude. He was a total throwaway character.
You just made my point for me. So now I have to, because no one cared about Angel, have to deal with Sydney Sweeney becoming a blue Archangel.
Who knows if they'll go down that ramp? I don't know.
I'm just hypothetically. At any rate, why are we talking about this madness? I'm fired up.
Oh, he's fired up.
We need Charlene.
The Charlene Xavier Academy for Gifted Youngsters.
Oh my goodness.
Here's what it is. Also, I'll do anything to see more Sydney Sweeney. So I'm cool.
You just think she has good genes, man.
She has great genes. They're amazing. So here's what I'm saying. I feel you. It's just a theory. I'm just, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll be all white dudes.
No
like the original comic.
No orange stories.
But you also know that, like, there's not gonna be a Wolverine, right? They've declared they're not gonna do Wolverine yet. And then and Jean Grey is the main character, which makes sense because she's gonna be in Spider-Man.
Jean Grey is the main character. Don't have an issue with that. Here's the problem with casting during the Golden Era X-Men, right? That comic book got canceled.
Yes. Yes. Let's talk about the pink elephant in the room that no one ever wants to talk about. So what people don't realize is that out of all the 4 original pillars of Marvel, so just super quick brief history of Marvel. So Marvel Comics was originally a comedic comic book publisher. They did funnies and weird characters. And when Stan Lee came onto the scene, he was like, we're going to do superheroes. And so they were doing superheroes in their anthology books, right? In their science fiction books. So there was like Tales to Astonish, Tales of Suspense, Amazing Fantasy. These are where all the major characters started from, right? And so finally he got superheroes popular for their company again. They were known for their superheroes. He was like, now we're going to start breaking out just pure comic book, pure superhero comic books, right? So he had his 4 pillars, right? And his 4 pillars were Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Spider-Man, I'm sorry, the Amazing Spider-Man. Let's point that one out, right? The Fantastic Four, and then the Uncanny X-Men, right? And so they had the X-Men, and you guys remember them in their yellow costumes, like you said. Angel has a fucking bazooka. He's flying around with a bazooka. weird stuff.
Bazooka fighting Magneto, and he's like, "This is gonna go great.
I'm just in the middle of a city, just shooting a bazooka off to a guy who has magnetic powers." Right? That's right. And so what happened was, guys, by the time they hit, I believe it was around like issue 60 something, they were all selling well except for X-Men. X-Men was doing horribly. Nobody was collecting the X-Men. And so you know what? They kept X-Men going, but you know what they did? They reprinted the old adventures. They were comics that already had been printed. They weren't writing new stories, and for a while there, they were just doing that. Right. And then until finally, when they decided, they said, you know what, we need to fix our X-Men situation. And that's when the very famous, they decided to come out with Giant Size X-Men #1, where they get the international cast, right? Wolverine, Storm, Nightcrawler, Colossus all join, Sunfire, Epic. And then that revitalized X-Men. But people don't realize X-Men were they were the Hunchback in a group of hot chicks, basically.
Can I say something right now? I'm going to acknowledge that you were right about something, but you were only partially right. You were about 95% right about something.
Ooh, I like this. I like where this is going.
Let me start by saying this. When Jonathan Hickman started writing for the X-Men, the new arc they were doing, it was amazing. That's where you were wrong. Where you were right was it could not be sustained. The story was too Hickman. And this goes back to James Gunn and the Supergirl, Superman Gunverse dilemma. Except for Jonathan Hickman's amazing. X-Men is in a poor state in the comic books, according to me, subjectively. But monetarily, it might not just be subjective. The Storm comic got canceled. Did you hear about this?
No, I didn't hear about the Storm, but I mean, I'm not surprised.
So here's the thing when you come in after a guy like Hickman, and I want you to keep this in mind for the X-Men movies, Supergirl, and Spider-Man, and comic book movies in general. He built this new rich mythology where the mutants finally had a place to be, and they were at the center of power in the world. And then all the mutants are just there together. Even Apocalypse. They even said, hell, we're willing to look past what you've done as long as you're willing to abide by our rules. And some great stories came out of it. The House of Swords event. We find out finally why Apocalypse is the way that he is. And no, it's not because... Go ahead.
I also heard the Sabretooth limited series was great.
Amazing. Like just the Hickman moment with Wolverine, before we knew they could resurrect themselves, where Wolverine and Nightcrawler are on the deck before they get burned alive. And they go out like Thor and Hyperion did. It was all amazing. But then they handed it off to the next guy. And they were like, all right, I'll keep this going. We know a lot of it doesn't make sense. It's Hickman, though. It made sense when he was doing it. He made it make sense.
And Hickman, for the record, guys, if you guys know Hickman, he's a weirdo. He's a good writer, but he is a weirdo.
He's very cerebral, and like everything is connected. One vague mention of something in a comic you missed will be pivotal 2 years down the line. You're like, wait, what? That happened? But at any rate, my point is that the reason X-Men, the golden era X-Men, is not going to do good, it's going to do good. People are going to go see it. But why I'm not excited, that's a very tough thing to bring to life and make it. You understand what I'm saying here? Like, it's like they're going to have obvious pitfalls in front of them. Do we make them edgy? Do we make Cyclops and edgelord? Like all the traps that we complain about when it comes to popular comic book media are in front of them times 90 with the X-Men. You're like, we got to make Iceman gay. He was gay for a little bit in the comics. Let's make him over gay. Do we make it like the boys? It's like there's so many things that can go wrong. Like, oh, hey, one producer just got through watching Deadpool and Wolverine. Seems like people really enjoyed that type of stuff. Maybe we make it super edgy, jokey. Right. Everything that can go wrong could go wrong. So that's my fear with that, man. And that's the reason why Supergirl and Gunn is having such a hard time. They found one thing, they latched on it to it, and they thought that was the identity people were looking for. And it's just not. The greatness of comics is the variety. different writers, different inkers, different illustrators, and that's what we love most. And that's why these movies are struggling now, man. That's what was great about early MCU. It was different. Yeah.
Right. Ultimately, I think they can pull off one, and I'm saying just one,
right,
movie with the original cast, but they got to move on. We got to get Storm and Wolverine in the sequel, right? We can't. I don't want to linger on this one team, right? Mm-hmm. And so, even like for instance, X-Men First Class. It wasn't the real First Class. It wasn't the comic book First Class, but that movie is good.
Right.
But they had to move on from them because, those characters weren't sustainable to keep a franchise going. You know what I mean? You need to move on to them. So our favorites.
My God.
Right? But like, here's what I'm saying. And I, what I think it's very obvious. I think it's obvious that they're going to try Phoenix again. I think they're going to try Phoenix for like the third time, bro. Third time, right? So basically, here's what it is. So Sadie Sink's going to be Jean Grey in Spider-Man, right? And then she's going to graduate to the X-Men movie.
Is that confirmed, or is this a high speculation?
This is the highest levels of speculation. Okay. For instance, her toy. Mm-hmm. Her toy. People have seen images of her toy, and her toy has pink energy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who else? Unless this is the greatest secret ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the idea is she's going to graduate to the X-Men, right? And so she's going to continue this whole thing. So I guess they'll go through like the original X-Men, then they'll go through the new class of X-Men. They're going to, here's what I'm saying. I think they're going to slowly sow the seeds. Unlike the other two attempts of the Phoenix, slowly work up to Phoenix.
Bro, when you were saying all of that, I just felt the worst I felt all day. Like everything you just said made me feel horrible on the inside. Like each syllable I felt worse than I felt in a long time. The thought of them building up to the Phoenix event as these it's like,
because here's what I'm saying. The other two times they tried it, they did not do any foreshadowing at all. They were just like, the next movie will be Phoenix.
Yeah.
Like in X-Men 3, it was X-Men 3, right? X-Men stand together, stand tall. What is the third X-Men called?
Last Stand
Last Stand, yes. So it's X-Men, X2, and then X-Men The Last Stand, right? Yeah. The Last Stand, they just threw Phoenix in as like a side plot that they didn't even put any work into, right? Then when they did the reboot, when they rebooted it or whatever, they did, what is it? Was X-Men First Class, Days of Future Past, which is like one of the best X-Men movies and Wolverine movies I've ever seen. Like that movie's great. Then they did, what did they do after that? They did Apocalypse.
Horrible. They did him dirty.
Yeah, they did him so he was short. How do you make Apocalypse short? How do you make him? He's known for his bigness. He's known for his bigness. And then the last one was Dark Phoenix, X-Men Dark Phoenix, and it was so bad. It was so epically bad on like every level. And so basically, they haven't put any work in it. I think they think that I have a feeling like if you're making her the main character, you're gonna slowly work your way up to Phoenix. That's what I
have a side. I have an alternative, right?
Okay.
You do X-Men. If you're going to do the original cast, let's jump ahead to the villain in the background looming. It's going to blow your mind. Make it Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, I agree. You know what I'm saying? He's the one they haven't done.
Yeah.
We've seen bad renditions of all their villains or their major villains, right?
He's a creepy, ominous villain, man. Like, make it that, bro. Make it that.
And also, you know what also works on this? Because I think they're clearly going to focus on the romance between Jean and Scott. And I assume they'll throw in the love triangle later on when Wolverine gets there. But like, remember, Sinister set that whole shit up.
Yeah.
And so if they do that, that would be brilliant. If he's been manipulating them their whole lives, it would be a good movie.
That dog hunts, man. I think also what would be before we segue to Star Wars, what would be really great? You do Sinister, and then maybe take some beats from X-Men '97 and what makes that show successful. right?
I agree, but I would say, like, if you're doing the original X-Men, I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how they're going to do it because, like, that the original X-Men, the whole concept just sucks. I'm like the biggest X-Men fan you're ever going to, like, me and Steve collectively are the biggest X-Men fan you're ever, and I do not like the original class of X-Men.
Bro, it's at a certain point, I remember some of our debates, you were not anti-X-Men. You were just like, bro, they're trying too hard. We were in an era at a point in the 90s where it was just like, go, 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 go. Like, it was just like,
well, you know,
are getting bigger. And like,
so, you know what's funny? I actually love the energy they're putting out for these trailers for X-Men 97 season 2 because it's emulating that same
90s era, like
90s era where they're like, they're going to split into 4 different groups and they're going to be extreme guns and pockets and armor. They're going to have body armor.
I blame that era of comics for me having ADHD. I was like, Omega Red, Dr. Sinister, Strife, what the hell's going on?
I love that they kept bringing in mutants and you're like, what's his power? And they're like, it's a mystery, but he has a lot of guns.
We won't know, but what's in those fanny packs? You'll never know.
What's in all those fanny packs? He's got all sorts of shit in there.
Comic in 90s era was when friggin' X-Force, and this was the perfect formula of comic book passe writing. They were like, how can we show that this team is different than the X-Men, that they are willing to do what it takes to win? We'll put them up against a classic villain, but it's got to be a classic villain that's reasonable but still ominous. So they pit X-Force against Juggernaut, right?
Oh yes, do you remember the gimmick of that issue?
Yeah,
it was all to the side.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, obviously you hold the comic and you read it up and down. And the gimmick of this episode, and I can't believe no other comic has ever done it before in the history of comics, which was like 100 years old. They were like, you have to read the comic sideways. So anyway, that has nothing to do, but go on.
No, it was a great, and this is what I'm saying, they have to do something like that where it's like, bro, it's got to be right, you know.
Right, but do you also remember, that's actually funny that you mentioned that, because do you remember what the plot of that was?
No, I remember what Thunderbird jumping out of a plane to fist fight with the Juggernaut as a kid. I'm like, yeah.
Right. And so do you know, so for those who know, this was in the 90s, right? So this was before a particular historical event. But in the story, Black Tom Cassidy and Juggernaut attack the World Trade Center.
Black Tom Cassidy.
and the X-Force has to respond, and they're like saving it. But their whole battle was around the World Trade Center, it was before 9/11. So it was like crazy. Right?
And then they showed that the X-Force were willing to do, which obviously later translated into Wolverine's X-Force. The X-Force was willing to do whatever it takes to win a fight. I remember it was such a big deal, and I don't know why, that Shatterstar did the most obvious thing to combat the Juggernaut. He's like, I'm going to aim my sword right at that gaping hole where your eyeball.
In his armor, yes, in his armor. He's like armored in every place except like his mouth and his eyes. And he's like first person to ever think to stab his eye.
That wasn't the only time Shatterstar read like that. I remember in one X-Force comic, he was up against the Blob, and the Blob's like, I'm a fat piece of shit, and no one can hurt me. And he's like, and Shatterstar punched him in his teeth with the sword, and he started bleeding.
Right, because Shatterstar's sword had like a metal thing with spikes on it, and he punched people with it.
He hits the Blob in the only solid part of his body, and I'm like, genius.
No one ever thought to do that before. Yeah, and look at us dork out on comics. People listening to this are like, what is wrong with these guys? Yeah, comics were a thing. Comics were a thing. They were a thing.
But hopefully, we'll see what happens with Supergirl this weekend. We'll see what happens with Spider-Man. I'm glad it's breaking records. We're going to see that for sure. I got to go see it with you. Got to take the kids to see it, man. It's going to be a great night.
But you know what is a good sign? Me and you are reminiscing super hardcore about X-Men. Yeah. And so I'm already gassed. The mere fact that they're just having one X-Man, Jean Grey, in this new Spider-Man movie it's just bringing me. I can't wait.
I'm going to be so disappointed if it turns out to be someone like Firestar. And if it turns out to be Firestar, I called it here first.
If they really do that, I will self-delete on Kevin Feige's desk. He's gonna come into his office one day and he's gonna be like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "I'm the fat mantis, you fuck." And I'm gonna look at him. I'm gonna say, "Firestar." And you know what? He'll have to live with that.
You'd be the third person that day. He's like, "There's another one in here."
Another one. Someone already was like found him in his bathroom or whatever.
Okay, from one tragic franchise to the next. I got a video here, and it's from one of your favorite content creators, and I know you are not keen on this guy's voice, but are you up to speed, my brother, on what's going on in Star Wars yet again?
So we're talking about cartoon Star Wars or Mando?
Star Wars proper, the property itself.
Oh no, you're saying like internally? No.
Okay, so this is, well, how about this? I'm going to queue up the video. We'll watch this content creator's opinions on the subject, and then we'll take it from there. Hopefully everyone can hear everything when I press play. You let me know I shared it. You let it up. Boom. Here we go. We'll start with Manta. See if Manta.
At this point, after a few weeks in the box office and everyone forgetting that Mandalorian and Grogu even exists, the Mandalorian and Grogu is clearly dead. It is a failure, not just a failure, but one of the most embarrassing failures we've seen in Disney Star Wars. A movie that was supposed to be the safe bet to put out in.
All right, so being hyperbolic, it is dead in the water in the theaters, but that's pretty consistent with movies runs, unless it's something like an Endgame or something epic to hold it.
Right.
Yeah, it made money. It made money.
Here's what I'm saying. We have to acknowledge that it was a cash grab, and they knew it was a cash grab because they literally, here's what's crazy. They started production on season 4 of The Mandalorian, and then they suddenly said, turn a couple episodes into a movie.
Yeah.
And so they should have known that was not the smartest way to make a Hollywood movie. Right? And people were going to see through that.
And it definitely didn't play like a movie, even though, again, I stand by it. I enjoyed it when we went to go see it in the theater. I had a good time, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Theaters with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni heading up this masterpiece of cinema. You know, the streaming show that they launched Disney Plus with, that they had all the merchandise sales with Baby Grogu and all this garbage. It flopped hard at the box office. It is said to be, by a big margin, the worst box office performer in history for Star Wars. Mandalorian and Grogu said to become the lowest grossing live-action Star Wars movie in franchise box office history, including worse than Solo, A Star Wars Story, probably by over $50 million when it's all said and done. And it's left a lot of people that knew this was going to happen, like here on this channel, like myself, like others in this space, saying, yeah, we've been telling you this would fail. Yeah, we knew this was going to be shit. Yeah, we know that no one's interested. And now even people in the mainstream media who've been denying that there's any problems with Star Wars are suddenly saying, well, maybe they do have to change something. Maybe Dave Filoni wasn't the best person to hand this over to. Maybe something's wrong with Star Wars.
Okay, so I'm going to say something right now. Let's say I agree with everything he just said. Dave Filoni wasn't the best person to hand it over to. I'd be interested to hear who he thinks the best person to hand it over to would be. That's what I see with these guys. Okay, Dave Filoni sucks. He loves black people. Let's throw him off the island. Who do you want? That's obviously a joke. I'm just making it just right. What you think can save this franchise?
That's why when we were talking about the James Gunn thing, I said we don't want a celebrity in charge of things. That's the problem. You don't want someone who is a hardcore celebrity. You want someone who's a behind the scenes man or woman.
Right.
Who's going to be happy with that job, not being the front up front, and letting the celebrities, you know, the actual stars of each movie, be the stars. Like, for instance, James Gunn. This is totally wild. Did you see that whole spread he did when Superman was coming out? They did I think it was Variety. They did a photo shoot about Superman, right? And so they had Superman and they had Lois and James Gunn
Yeah.
And all three of them were taking pictures together. I'm like, when have you ever seen a director do this? Get over yourself, bro. It's about the actors.
It's about the property, especially in something like this. We need you, but I don't need you to be totally nameless. I need you to be someone that's more concerned with the quality. I want you to be honorable and say, hey, I'm going to do this interview, but I really want to highlight the project. Right?
Right. Absolutely.
The project.
And you know what? Honestly, I would be that man.
You would.
I will take the sacrifice. I will take the hit, and I will do this. But for all of you, not for me.
Until you get drunk one night, you're like, it was all me. It's always been me. Into hell with Spoon. They're like, what's he talking about? What spoon? What spoon is he looking for?
Steve, how do you know what? How do you know what my evenings are like?
We've been
because my evenings are very similar. I was like, I just pitched a show to these bastards. I was about to get greenlit. They get canceled.
I was like, there was a golden gun.
saying it for a decade and a half at this point. But apparently, guys, don't worry. There's a plan. There's a plan to save Star Wars from the guy that so many people wanted to be the savior of Disney Star Wars, but never had a possible chance in hell of doing so, Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni is not capable of that, right? It's like if you asked a fucking monkey to do rocket science, right? It's just simple.
But why is he not capable? What is it about Dave? Maybe he's going to get into it at some point in the video. I have my critiques of Dave Filoni, Ahsoka, all these things, but I can articulate that. What is it about Dave Filoni exactly?
It's the same things about James Gunn, although James Gunn's worse.
Right.
This is my thing. This is my take on it. So James Gunn has all these like particular, like James Gunn's like, I want everything to be weird and space-like Guardians of the Galaxy. That's my whole thing, right? And so, Dave Filoni, if you notice, he loves Star Wars. Everyone's like, he's a true fan. He is a true fan of his own characters. like for instance, everyone's like, Ahsoka, watch Ahsoka. It's not an Ahsoka movie. It's a Rebels season 5 show. Right. And he keeps greenlighting all these things that are his characters or he co-created.
Good point.
Here's what I'm saying. If anyone in Star Wars had half a fucking brain, they would be doing Luke, Leia, and Han projects. They might recast them or something, but that's what people really want to see. But instead, he'll be like, yo, everyone wants to know what Ezra Bridger is up to, as if
nobody wants to know that.
No one wants to know that.
You know what's crazy too? Because even Star Wars Theory said something. So side quest, sorry. Cal Kestis from the Star Wars games is officially just now been recognized as canon. So your most popular property, the most successful thing to come out of Star Wars in years, is a game with a compelling story and a compelling character, and you're like, we should probably make that canon. You know, like that was they wanted to keep it separate forever, but people were like, bro, we love this game. We love the story. Why wouldn't this be a part of this universe? It's like, no. We don't want people to get confused. People want to see Luke. You could have ended The Mandalorian on season 2 and picked up with Luke and Grogu. That dog would not only hunt, it would drag water buffaloes to the ground.
That would be amazing if they just if it was a handoff and they ended the Mandalorian thing and it was now Luke and Grogu. Yeah, and he starts the academy again, and then like you said, we could have Ahsoka, we could have Cal Kestis, and a bunch of other because they keep having all these guys survive Order 66. Have a bunch of them just all come to him, and he restart the academy.
Right, and then if you needed a soft reboot, if you just needed a soft reboot, the sequel trilogy. Well, let's say they actually went there. I think people would have given in so much to this. Especially if it's a show, a quality show, they would have given into it so much that the ride through that would have been worth not even thinking about that. Because you always made very intelligent arguments about why they shouldn't retcon it. It's like, you just don't give in. But if you take it from Luke and Grogu and their adventures and like him building back the temple and then stray Jedis, just like they did in the expanded universe, finding Luke and him building up this new Jedi temple, and then you get into something grand, and I would have totally forgotten. Right? I would have totally forgotten about that sequel. Like, hell, you could at a certain point, if it hits so hard, you could have brought Finn in, the same actor, and people would have been okay with it, bro. What up, Kira? Welcome in.
What up, D?
I digress.
Simply not capable of figuring that shit out. Dave Filoni is not capable of saving Star Wars, because when you look at everything this guy's done, he makes shit for kindergartners who are probably mentally disabled. That's who Dave Filoni writes for, because that is about the level that he understands. So no, Dave Filoni's not the right guy to save Star Wars, but there's a plan nonetheless. As Star Wars has lost 85% of its audience in the past decade plus, and Lucasfilm's fix sounds worse. So
before he gets into that, I don't know how you quantify that. Like, how did you gather these numbers?
Where are these numbers, Ian? What are these numbers? Because here's what I'm saying. I hope they're not suggesting that, like, Mandalorian and Grogu should make the same amount as episode 7 or something. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, but everything the death by comparison. But how did this polling go?
Right.
Have a booth.
What Star Wars scientist did that math?
Well, this, of course, is going over the number of people who have gone to see, other Disney Star Wars movies compared to Mandalorian and Grogu, how the fans have fallen away, how so many people have given up on Star Wars. But what I wanted to focus on, because we know that, we've seen that, we know that they've lost the vast majority of their audience, even if they've been in denial. And this was proof that you can't hide behind streaming numbers. You can't hide behind Twitter reactions. You can't hide behind this. You hide behind that. You can't hide behind, well, there was a big pop at Star Wars Celebration. No one cares about that shit. This is actual fucking money we're talking about. And the Mandalorian and Grogu lost money, definitively. But the plan to fix it, this is what I want to get to. According to Jeff Snyder, whose information circulated through Star Wars Leaks community on Reddit, and Jeff Snyder is somebody who he's given some accurate shit on the state.
Everyone's a fucking Snyder nowadays.
There it is. Inside leakers, inside information. I know a guy that works in the parking lot that did a poll with some
right.
On the numbers on Star Wars.
I got an insider who knows everything. Nobody knows who he is, but I do. And he told me for sure that Vader was coming back.
Somehow Palpatine came back.
State of Disney Star Wars, when certain people are leaving, who's going where, what's coming out. He has been accurate. I'm not going to say he's 100% because he's a freaking leaker scooper guy. None of them are 100%, but he more reputable than some of the other ones out there. That's for sure. Disney has reportedly handed Lucasfilm a new set of marching orders under President and CCO Dave Filoni, who took the top job after Kathleen Kennedy's exit at the end of 2025. With the older core fan base walking out, the reported strategy doesn't sound like Lucasfilm asking why the audience left. It sounds like Lucasfilm's trying to engineer a replacement audience. Here are the bullet points. Some of these are funny as fuck, man. Lucasfilm reportedly targeted audience age.
The bullet points? The leaker got bullet points.
Yeah, no, it sounds insane. And this is the perfect thing for this guy, Ryan Kinnell, RK Outpost. He's such a troll. He's such a hater. Let's see what type of bitter shit he comes up with.
10 to 70, a comically wide range, with a stated focus on teens and young adults, anchored by PG-13 ratings. Our target demographic is everybody, living or dead, maybe. Maybe that would be the only wider audience. But with the focus on teens and young adults, well, that is your problem. The problem is you haven't been able to get teens or young adults interested in this new brand of Star Wars. And it's because you missed your opportunity. When you look at all kind of these big moments for Star Wars over the years, depending on what was coming out, whether it was movies, whether it was video games, whether it was books, whether it was prequels, whatever, it was always an opportunity.
What do you think of the chances of beyond a critique? Here at Fanboy Modeling School, folks, not only do we critique, we provide solutions. Solutions from two guys that are trying to fix a multi-billion-dollar company, but we give solutions. What do you think of the chances that he's going to provide a solution at any point? Or is it just going to be...
Oh, no, he's just going to complain. He's going to complain, and he's going to look at other people's ideas and tell other people their ideas are trash while offering nothing to the conversation. That's Ryan Kendall for you.
Does he create anything?
He's just this guy.
For people who liked Star Wars to get their children invested in it. Right? That was that opportunity. Pass it on to the next generation. And that is the best way you can sustain these franchises. And when you have people, adults that care about it, and then pass it on to the next generation. The problem with Disney Star Wars is you miss that opportunity. You have now missing generations, multiple at this point, multiple missing generations of people, young people who do not give a fuck about Star Wars and won't give a fuck about Star Wars. What's the result? Well, when they have kids, they're not going to pass it down. And this is how these franchises fucking die. AI will reportedly be used to generate environments and visual effects. Couldn't look worse than it does now, I suppose. Creatives will reportedly have to build stories that fit within Filoni's overarching framework. Well, they're working for a retard who only wants to do one specific type of story with some very...
So, it's funny. Everyone's probably like, Mantis, what's going on with you? It's true. I strike myself, I fancy myself a troll. I say extreme things. I also don't care what people think. However, for some reason, this guy triggers me. Like, did he have to say that? I'm gonna calm down, but he's some prick. He's a righteous prick. You know what it is? You know what it is? I'm gonna say it like this. What? If you call someone a retard, they better be a retard. If you're just saying it just to say it, you're an asshole. But if someone does something really, really, really harebrained and really stupid, okay, you could break out the R word. But you reserve it for the extreme cases. This guy's just saying it to say it.
You know what the crazy thing about this dude is, man? Like, again, I defend his right to be able to have this platform and, what he's grown his brand and his business to. But at the end of the day, man, what are you going to report on when these franchises that you clearly hate do go away? Because you're not, I don't think they understand. If this company is who you say it is, and they believe the things that you say they believe, and we all believe that they do, they would rather shelve this for the next 90 years than to give in to you guys.
Right.
So, okay, so Star Wars is off the table, Marvel flops, everything's done. So what you going to report on now?
Right, exactly. What are you going to hang on now?
What are your opinions going to be? Doctor Who just got canceled by the BBC. They're shelving that. And that's proof of concept right there. Doctor Who, which is not obviously Marvel or Star Wars.
Right, right. But it had a huge fan base. It had a big one, right?
Shelved. They were like, okay, you hate it? It's woke. It's garbage. Don't worry about it. Batgirl. Shelved.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like this, I don't live under threat of fear of that, but I just wonder what this contingent of content creation is going to do. Like Ripper has already started his path into his next journey, man. He's actually creating something. He's fighting the machine with creation. Even Drinker has started making short films. I think he made a short film or made a film. And props to him for doing that. Go ahead.
So do you know Mark Plyer?
No, sir.
So Mark Plyer, he does horror reviews and stuff like that. He ended up making a movie this year called Iron Lung. And it did all right, you know what I'm saying? But like, you're right. He's like basically, and just like the guy who did Backrooms, just like the guy who did Obsession, they're YouTubers who are like, they're doing YouTube because they have other dreams and other aspirations. Right. This guy is going nowhere. He's gonna have, and you know what's funny? I stopped listening to him a couple of years ago. I actually followed him for a little while years ago, and now I'm back on. I see he only has 347K
only.
No, but what I'm
three people on Rumble and the bot on Twitter,
but a loyal
loyal.
3 people on
Loyal.
Rumble and a loyal bot.
That bot's here every week.
Right? No, well, what I'm saying is, in terms of his rise to power, got the first million, you got to rush to it. That's what they all say.
Yeah.
You can't slowly build up to it. You got to like hammer it out. And so I'm kind of glad that he flatlined. In 10 years from now, he's going to be an old man bitching to the same 350 incels.
Yeah.
Right?
What's crazy though, man? Like Gothic's Ripper off doing her thing. I think Gothix is now working, and Gothix is primarily switched to Christian adjacent political commentary stuff. Even the guy, the owner proprietor of Geeks and Gamers, of all those people, he is the one I respect the most, because I actually believe that this started with I love this type of thing. I'm not convinced that this guy does, but what does it have to do with his critique? He's allowed to make the critique. I just want to prove a point by letting it play. So we're reporting on numbers, but we don't know where the numbers came from. I guess we can go read the article and validate that. A leaker, which he, by his own acknowledgement, Ryan says, he is one of these leaker guys, and his strongest argument as to this point in the video has been that Filoni is a retard, and that's why he can't save Star Wars.
Specific type of characters. So that'll be fantastic, won't it? The stated cadence, and this is ridiculous, is reportedly 2 shows and 1 movie per year. Star Wars already doesn't feel special anymore with all these streaming shows, but now you want to continue to do 2 streaming shows a year and put 1 movie in theaters. Certainly a big first step with Mando and Grogu, right? That flopped on its fucking face. Next year you got Starfighter coming out. What's the next movie? Because that would have to go in production right fucking now if you wanted to keep that cadence. But it looks like they might be a little bit hesitant after Mando and Grogu. Standalone films will reportedly become rare, with the focus shifting towards the next saga. Films are reportedly expected to be epic and high stakes, carry a clear vision, establish worlds, and tell interconnected stories. Like Mando and Grogu, epic and high stakes. That is the inverse of Mando and Grogu, for the record. All shows will reportedly be set in the New Republic era, used as a sandbox to experiment with the tone, genre, and structure. Another
pause it real quick.
This era is...
I will say that his critique of that last one is like, well, for starters, if he's saying it's bad, he's an idiot. But here's what I have noticed, and this is a turnoff, and this is because of Star Wars, and this is because of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Have you ever talked to a normie about either Game of Thrones or Star Wars?
No, I can't. Honestly, I can't say that I've had a conversation. It's always been with the initiator.
So you know that normies think that Baby Yoda is actually Yoda as a baby.
Yeah, I can.
And one of the main reasons that the normies don't keep track of the current. You know, like Star Wars is like, we're gonna have a show and it takes place before the Empire, and then we're gonna have a movie that takes place after the Empire, and then we're gonna have a cartoon that takes place during the Clone Wars, and they're like going all over the place. Normies can't keep track of it. They don't go what's going on. So I've noticed anytime I have a conversation with a normie about Star Wars, they're like, well, where's Luke Skywalker?
Right.
And then I'm like, this is in the blah 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 era. There's no. They're like, what? And they don't comprehend it. So what is, some of these storylines just get crazy. It's the same with Game of Thrones, because I don't know. You know that they just had the premiere of House of the Dragon season, which, by the way, I really like the premiere.
I heard it was amazing. I heard it was a return to form.
You know what it was? It was a battle episode, and Game of Thrones battle episodes are always good, right? Yeah. There's always a good time. But somebody said something, and then I remember what did they say? They were like, well, what about Daenerys's dragon? Is he still around? And I was like, bro, this takes place like 100 years in the past.
What you just touched on, I dig it, man, because it's the expanded universe can be too much for normies. The Marvel expanded universe was too much for normies. That's what I'm saying. Luke, right after Mandalorian, that's what it was. You called it, man. Cast Sebastian Stan and then move on, right?
Yeah, keep going.
Bring in the familiar.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, keep it chronologically going forward. Don't jump around.
That's why God of War kicks so much ass, man. I don't care what anyone says, man. They are doing the perfect thing. They're like, you don't want a female character? Okay. That's fine. Don't show up. But this game is going to hit all the cylinders. And I'm watching the excitement for the game build up because people are actual God of War fans are drowning out characters like this.
Yes. Yeah, so here's what it is. I will give you that. Here's what it is. I do think it's always dangerous to tell any member of your fan base to go fuck themselves. You know how, like, like for instance, a friend of mine said with Supergirl, when talking to Supergirl, well, Supergirl doesn't want to cater to incels. It only wants to cater to women and teens. And I was like, but the incels pay your bills, so you need to fucking pay attention to it, right? But I will say this about game God of War. It is an illusion. I promise you. It is a dark force illusion that everyone hates that shit. It's not true. If you actually pay attention, the fan base is actually pro Laufey.
And you know what's even crazier? Thank you for saying that. And thank you, D. Oh, so many people are excited for God of War. Do you know what's actually happening? The people who weren't pumped for it are now pumped for it. You know how many reaction videos I've seen where they're like, I don't want this. I don't want to play as this dude's wife. Bro, by the time they get through that trailer, everyone's just like, I need this game in my PlayStation now. And you know why? Because they know, Sony knows. It's not that they're telling their fans to go screw. They're telling people who aren't fans, the external commentators, go screw. This message is directly for you. The fans of the game will show up. And that's what Marvel needs to get back to. That's what Star Wars needs to get back to. But the only way you're going to do that is you have to tell a compelling story. So we got God of War 2018, right? A lot of criticism around that game. Like, oh, Kratos is sensitive and the character's developing.
Yeah, he likes his son or something and it pisses people off, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then Ragnarok, they're like, oh, I had to play with the son and it's more, Kratos is not meant to be this way, blah, 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 blah. Why, how come I can't bang chicks like I used to in the game? And then they did something extremely crazy, my brother. They said, okay, watch this. Released a free DLC. One of the most played games of the year.
I remember that.
DLC, bro. And then they said, okay, hold this. Now we're going to tell you the story of his wife, and it's going to link to this. No one really wanted to see Kratos go to Egypt. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that, bro.
Lo says everyone is ready for another God of War. Absolutely. And so you are right. The main people who are complaining are people who don't play the games in the first place. So what is the point of hearing them complain?
And this is, okay, are you ready for me to give you your biggest props now that you said that? That's exactly how you deal with the inclusive narrative. Go screw. If you like this, it doesn't matter if I bring diversity to it, because that's going to happen by diversity of thought and character. I don't need a trans character in this game. I don't need a trans character in my movie. I need a movie that my fans enjoy and my fans want to continue to support, my fans want to see.
Absolutely. This is why I want to tell the executives to go F themselves when they try to meddle with some shit going on, right? Yeah. Is that they're like, well, maybe we could have some diversity into it. And I'll be like, the idea is like, is that going to bring more sales? I don't think it will. You think it will, but it hasn't proven to do that.
No, not at all. There's no proof of concept.
Like, you know about the woman Doctor Who, right?
Yeah, that's why it's shelved right now.
The woman Doctor Who. And I'll say this right now. And I love bitches. I love my women, right? But women Doctor Who buried Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Everyone says those seasons were so bad when they turned the Doctor into a woman. Doesn't even make sense. The Doctor is a dude. It's true that he gets reborn into different lives or whatever, but he's always a dude.
Yeah.
And then when they were like, let's be diverse, let's make him a bitch. It made no sense. It made no fucking sense. And it alienated all the fans. And the fans were like, what am I watching right now?
Bro, I'm telling you, man. And there's a lot of people in blerdom that would get mad at me, but don't allow yourself to be used. The Black Doctor Who was just, I'm like, man, I think the person who does this, I think liberals secretly hate brown and black people. Like,
they hate them more than anybody. I'm saying right now, liberals hate brown and black people more. Because they say they apply the craziest things to black and brown people.
Mm-hmm. And then we have to go on the front lines and fight their culture wars. But
like for instance, I actually had this, not debate, but this conversation today with a coworker. We talked about the driver's license thing. You know the driver's license thing.
Wait,
So like, for voter ID, this.
Hold that thought. Berlin said, I've seen a lot of hate for the new God of War game here on Rumble. Consider where you're at, though, Berlin.
Yeah, those guys. Yeah, I doubt they're real fans, though. I doubt they're real fans. But like yeah, right. Rumble was founded on trollism. Rumble was founded by a group of trolls who were cast out of other apps, and they're like, "Where do we go?" And they're like, "We'll make our own app. Instead of red, it will be green." So,
good point.
But
complain about everything. But go ahead. I'm sorry, brother.
No, it's fine. So we talked about the whole voter ID thing.
Okay.
And I was talking to a white woman, and she was just like, she said she looked at a Babylon Bee cover, and the Babylon Bee cover said, it shows a black guy with a driver's license in his hand. He's smiling, and it says, "Liberals amazed when they meet a black man who has a driver's license." And she's like, I don't get it. And I was just like, you know how they say you can't have voter ID because black people don't have driver's license? And she goes, but honestly, they can't get to the DMV. And I'm like, what are you fucking talking about? And so for people who aren't in the know, you can't even have an electric bill without showing valid ID. You can't have internet without showing a valid ID. There's a million things you can't have. Black people have IDs. What's the thing?
IDs, I promise. I just got mine renewed. I just got my driver's license renewed. And I know someone make the argument when you have a car and that's a privilege. True. I paid for that privilege. I work hard for that privilege, and black people do have IDs and have IDs. I'd say 99.9% of the black people I know, which is
right. I think here's what it is. I understand everyone. You're either a special circumstance or the black person you know happens to be a friggin' idiot if they don't know how to get to a DMV, because even buses go to DMVs.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you live in a place. But okay, so here's the thing, though. The only time I've never had a ID in my life is when I was on copious amounts of drugs being released from jail. I found it very difficult at that point to get an ID. I just couldn't bring myself to go into the DMV. I'm like,
I mean, I get it. DMV is hard for sober people to deal with, let alone people on drugs, right? So.
But Berlin referred to the core contingency on Rumble as the old and bitter. It's true, but I will be streaming God of War on Rumble, and
I'm actually excited. I can't wait for that to happen again,
bro. I am pumped up. That's why I got this monitor. That's why I fixed my setup, so I got the vertical now, so I can just finally stream. I'm gonna be honest with you though, just preparing D and the rest of my peeps over on Rumble. I will acknowledge you to the best of my ability in the chat, but it's a story-driven game. So
right. If you're stuck in the game, if you were like, you need to go up. You need to go up. You need to go up. And you're like watching. And like, oh my God. She was her daughter. And the chat keeps saying, you need to move up. You need to move up. I get it.
Like if you were around for the Star Wars streams and the other God of War streams, I would look over. I'm like, Mantis, how long you been here? But anyway, Ryan Kennel, did I make my point? Like, has the right to report the news as he sees it with his bias or his worldview accordingly. But this is actually one of the things that's killing the fandom, is pumping toxicity into the fandom,
So here's what I'm saying. Are we done with this guy or no?
Yeah, we're done with this guy.
Let's get this fucker out of here. So this is a conversation that I was having with my sister today, and so we were talking about bad theory crafting videos.
Okay.
And here's what it is. Everyone wants to be a social like a social network or social media like content creator, right?
Right.
So what it is like there's this new show. I love it. I don't know if anyone out there is watching it. It's on Apple TV. It's called Widow's Bay.
Okay.
Freaking love it. It's an amazing show. It's amazing. It's about a spooky island. It's kind of scary, but it's also funny, yada, yada, yada. But the point is that all these people started making videos of this and of Backrooms, and they have horrible theories that are just so stupid and don't make any sense. And I realize what it is people are grasping at straws. They want to be the theory crafter, right?
Right.
But they're not intelligent enough to have a good theory.
Right.
Right. It's the same thing with the criticism of this shit. People who have no intention of playing Laufey at all are saying, well, what can I criticize? What's popular right now? And they look what's trending and they say God of War. I'm going to shit all over this shit.
Yo, I'm sorry to my Christians in the chat. You guys know I've been doing pretty good not swearing and cursing, but I'm about to say something right now.
Yeah, you're doing great, actually.
This is what we call in the hood hating ass motherfuckers, man. Like, we all know this type of person. It's not even just relegated to the hood. We all know this type of person that just hates on stuff. It's like, yo, you see how good Mantis is doing at his job? Man, whatever. He owes me $20. I'm like, would you shut up? Bro? This is
For the record, guys, that's fiction. I don't owe anyone $20.
But no, I agree with you. Bex says over in YouTube, Black people have IDs is frying. Low agrees. Black people are just a vote to the progressive. Yes.
Right.
I know I could have said hating busters. I know, but it just didn't have. Yo, I'm telling you, man. Like, man, I'm gonna be real with you, man. I've got roughly 18 months clean of being on debate streets, right? 2+ years of sobriety, so 18 months of non-debates. But every once in a while, I tune into places where I'm just like, I want to go up so bad and just embarrass these people in this argument. I'm like, bro, you don't want to play the game? Here's what you got to do. Uninstall it. But you want people to jump on your narrative. So let's follow your thought process to its logical conclusion. What is the game you want to play? What is this game you want to play? Did you play God of War? Can you show me how many hours you're locked in on it? Well, right. I'm commenting on the social narrative of how everything has to be woke. Guess what, buddy? It's games, man. You don't like female characters in games? Fine, don't play it, brother. Make your video and kick rocks. Here's the next thing. And this is not a jab at you, my brother. I have some love for the incel community. But at the same time,
why would that be a jab at me?
No, because I sent you the video. You sometimes you defend the incel appropriately. You're like, hey, you can't put everything on them being a potential incel, is what I should say. Right. But here's the real deal about this, right? Go get a girlfriend, bro. Like, like you need hot chicks in video games? No, my brother. No, my brother in Christ. You need to be around real women. Go to church, go to the singles mixer, meet a woman, put yourself out there. Stop worrying about how ugly fictitious characters are. And go out there, meet a real human being, bro.
Although you guys know, Mantis does not control ugly characters. It's controller. But no, I totally feel you. And I just can't stand people who you can tell don't have any experience or are not part of the community dropping deuces on stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't even play these games. What is your problem? However, I will applaud the haters, and they're not even real haters, the critiquers.
Yeah,
who are part of the community. Like, for instance, Heel to Babyface. I'm saying his name wrong. I'm sure of it. Heel to Babyface. Remember when he went off on Starfield?
No, don't play that game.
But I'm saying this is a British guy, and he has, his name is like Heel to Babyface or something, and he's in the middle of a live stream because he got the game, he couldn't wait to it, and he's playing it, and suddenly there's like some pronoun stuff in it, and he flipped out and became world famous for this rant, and he just goes, "What the hell is this? It's supposed to be the year 3000, and there's some pronouns," and he's like, "What is wrong with you people? I thought he's like, I thought I would drown in a submersion of a science fiction world that's different from my own, and right here I'm being, trans people are fucking with me. And he flipped the fuck out. It was hysterical. But however, you know what? I will respect him. You know why? Because you could tell he's a real gamer who really wanted to enjoy that game.
Right.
And it really set him off.
Totally different target base, and my heart goes out to him. Really, my heart goes out to him.
Yeah, I mean, it must be annoying that you.
No. I mean, sincerely, my heart goes out to him because it's like, could you imagine being sucked into the world? It's like, I just dealt with the real world for 8 hours. I paid my dues. Right now, I'm about to sit in front of this video game. I don't know what Starfield's about, but I'm going to chop some stuff up.
Right. You're like, yes, I'm going to submerge in my video game, not think about stuff. And then all the same political garbage of the real world is in your game.
When I want to play a game like that, and forget about it. Forget about this for a second. The pronoun thing. When I wasn't streaming with you guys on Spoon, right? You know what I would do? I would come home and play the Division 2 ad nauseum because it was a game I could zone out. I would lock in. I'm running around the dark zone. I'm doing stuff. And it had very high political commentary in it. And I accepted it because that was a part of the story. But it never got to a place where it took me out of the game. I was at the counter at Best Buy one day and overheard someone returning, I forget which game it was, because of that very same thing. They came back to the store, brought the game. And when I asked them, I was like, hey, what do you think of that game, man? And they were like, bro, bunch of pronoun stuff in it. And they returned it. So I actually tipped my hat to them because I was like, that's the end of it. You know what I'm saying? I never saw that dude with millions of views on YouTube. Not saying you can't do that. But, at the end of the day, man, it's like, I agree with you. I'll take the criticism from people within the community. And I don't want to make that argument. If you're not a part of it, you can't talk about it. You are allowed to talk about it.
Right,
but at the point, it's just like, shut up, bro. Just shut up. Berlin says we still got to play that. I asked around and we got people that's down to play Division 2. Division 2 is a good time, man. Let me tell you about the dark days here, Mantis. I'd get me 2 big old tall boys of Voodoo Rangers, bang one back, pause, and I'd be in there, man, listening to Basement Jacks. I have no idea what's going on in the story because I already 100% it. Now I'm just running around killing people. I'm just like, I'm running around just
in your dark days. I never even played Division 1.
You never played Division 1?
No.
Vastly superior, in my opinion, to Division 2 because it takes place in New York. Not that there's anything wrong with DC, you know what I'm saying? But, New York. Shout out to New York, Nick. Yeah.
Disgusting. My erection just got lost.
We had 2 more
deflated thinking of Washington DC.
We had 2 more topics for tonight, but I think we can only squeeze in one more. A bit of a somber note. I do want to make sure I give this guy his props, man. So a lot of you guys may have heard or may not have heard of an artist called Oliver Tree. He made a song called Miss You. It's very popular on TikTok, Instagram. A lot of reels sped up with that song. He did absolutely crushed it. He's a Beck-like character, uber talented. Just passed away recently in a tragic airplane crash in Brazil.
In the green room, you were showing me his stuff, and as soon as I heard his voice, I was like, "Oh, I know that guy. I know some of at least one of his songs, but I definitely rang a bell."
And
for starters, his fluidity and his realness was amazing.
Yep,
it's such a tragedy, man.
It is. It's sad, man. And I think the sad thing about it. What's going on here? Can you see me trying to? Oh, there we go.
Sorry, guys.
I just shared something, so I just want to play for the audience something he did on friggin' Instagram and acapella. But before I do that, I want to frame it. I forget sometimes. I don't know these celebrities, and I never will. But they're people, and they have day-to-day struggles, and they're grinding to make their careers, and they're trying to come up in the world. I seen a post from his parents who just lost their son, and tragic, their hearts are clearly broken. But I want him to be remembered outside of the costume he wore. Go look up his videos and stuff like that with the crazy mullet and the antics, because I think this gets to the heart of who he was as an artist. So I'm going to play it. Hopefully we don't get struck and might have to start it over. We'll let it play through. But this is him singing his heart out.
Overrated, somehow played out. 3 doors down so you can ignore it. I'll hunt you down like a Tyrannosaurus. My teeth are sharp like a great white shark. Let me taste that flesh, it's my favorite part. Got an eagle beak with the ostrich feet. 7 spider eyes for every day of the week. Means I'm still working while your bitch ass sleeps. I'm an alien among the human beings.
There we go.
I fell down to earth from 100 miles away, and somehow I still make it work. But it's overrated and somehow played out. 3 doors down so you can ignore it. I'll hunt you down like a Tyrannosaurus. My teeth are sharp like a great white shark. Let me taste that flesh, it's my favorite part. Got an eagle beak with the ostrich feet. 7 spider eyes for every day of the week. Means I'm still working while your bitch ass sleeps. I'm an alien among the human beings.
I just really do think that's the way I want to remember this guy. I wasn't like an Uber fan, but I think artists show us a little bit of themselves once in a while. You see it and you're just like, man, this person honestly was a real person that had real passion behind their creation. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know why this story, he didn't die from an OD. It's still tragic, but he's like an Amy Winehouse like figure, you know, like just.
Although she died of an OD, didn't she?
Yeah, she did die of an OD, but so much stuff that led up to her overdose just blows my mind. And same thing with this guy, man. I was telling Mantis in the green room, he was having record label trouble with Atlantic. And they will never, he had a second album that was going to come out after a wildly popular first one. And we will only get to hear that album now because he's dead.
Right.
And this is,
I mean, they still be doing this. Like they rule as if the internet isn't a thing and they rule over us. Like a lot of people don't know. I don't know. You know Halsey?
Yes.
She cut a new album and they won't put it out.
Yeah.
Because she didn't get the sales on her one before that. So she took the trouble of recording one. And I'm like thinking, like, don't we have the internet? Can't you just like sing it on the internet? But I'm sure there's all sorts of legal stuff that you don't understand. But these record labels, they still exert such power over these artists, whether they can put their things out, whether they can be acknowledged or anything like that. It's totally effed up.
It is. And I think it makes a strong case for, which ties into all what we've been talking about tonight, which is at what point is it the creator's problem? Is it the content's problem, the corporation's problem, and the popular medium of movies and films? There's multiple layers. With music, this is why the industry is dying. That industry, the record industry, because people now can go directly to their fans. And I would implore more people to do that. I do understand the pull of a major label release. You're going to get backing for a tour. There's a lot of stuff you don't have to worry about when you have that type of manpower behind you. But then one day they could just say, nah, we're not releasing it. And in fact, because of your contract stipulations, you can't release anything. No mixtapes, no nothing. Same thing to the
right. And they have complete control.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because of what you signed. It is totally tragic. It's horrible. It's almost like you might have been better off never signing with them in the first place and just releasing it independently on YouTube and all your other things.
Yep, absolutely. My brother, farewell, Oliver Tree, man.
Oliver Tree, man.
We appreciate you. Did you have fun tonight?
I did, man. I did. This is one of the rare ones where we've done all entertainment, but it was worthy conversations about entertainment.
Yeah, man. I really enjoy doing this show with you, man. There are some times, I won't lie, when me and Mantis have to fight off the sleep coma after a long day of work to get on here. Been doing this now for 5 years, roughly. Pretty much, bro.
Fucker, it's been 17 years. Or it feels like it. Okay.
But it was good. It's good, man.
It's always a good time. I'm having a good time. You're having a good. I can tell you're having a good time. I know I'm having a good time, and I think our listeners are having a good time because people show up. Now we might not be as popular as Ryan Kinnell, but at least I know you. I don't think you guys are bots because you say loose shit. All right,
absolutely, man. It makes you wonder, right? 23,000 fans. What you win them with is what you win them to. Ryan Kinnell can never wake up tomorrow, the day after, or a year later, and say to his fans, "I was wrong. I'm changing course."
Right.
He has to stay on this course, no matter what.
That's his. The video you showed me today was the same one years ago when I followed him. Same thing, and he's a hate streamer, right? And so he gets the power from the negativity, right? He wakes up and he's like looking through the newspaper to look for negative news, and then he's like, my powers are regaining, right? Poor kid. I bet he has ED like a motherfucker.
I would venture so.
Negativity fucks with your cock, kids. Just remember that.
Yo, you know what though? You know who I haven't seen around, or maybe she just doesn't come up in my algorithm because she's got love in her life now. Funny how that happens. Melanie Mack got a new man in her life. You know, she did the reveal of her man and the troubles they were going through, but love comes in your life and your priorities shift. All of a sudden,
you know what is hysterical what you just said, and I understand that it's your own perception, but literally yesterday I saw a Melanie Mack thing, and I said, and I immediately liked her thing, and it was a little clip, and then she said, I forget what she said. She said something. It seemed nonchalant at the beginning, but by the end, she was saying foul language about certain people's. And I had to take back my like. It's true. She just got married. God bless her. God bless her and her Asian man, her unfamous Asian man. But she's still dropping those F-bombs.
I'll never forget she dropped hard F.
I don't mean fuck.
I'll never forget she dropped that hard F. And we played it on Fanboy. I was like, that might have been too much, bro. We might have stepped over the line here.
But yeah, she's using the F slur. And here's what I'm saying. It was funny at first, but honestly, it is not Christ-like.
No, it's not. And
Christ would not approve of that. And she's having laughs or whatever. Those are earthly laughs. Those aren't spiritual laughs.
It's funny, man, because at the end of the day, what you win them with is what you win them to. And even though she does her Bible studies, which by the way, I don't think she has the authority to do, but she does them anyway on the internet, those are nowhere near as popular as her rage, streams.
Her acting like a loose ass.
But there's a higher quality, man. There's a higher quality. At any rate, Fanboy Modeling School, RizRadio.com, Riz Radio Live 365. Another great episode with the Mantis.
Another great episode, guys. Will I go to Supergirl this weekend? I'm not freaking sure. You know what I do know? I do have a new episode, 2 new episodes this weekend of Burn Your Degree. You can catch it on RizRadio.com or Live 365 or wherever Riz Radio is found. If you got a radio app, just hit in Riz, RIZZ space radio and check us out. Burn Your Degree starts at 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays, where we dissect everything we already think we know, and then we also listen to pop music while doing it. It's an amazing time. My brother, where can they find you?
Same place, 10 p.m. directly after Burn Your Degree on RizRadio.com. And come hell or high water tomorrow, there will be an episode up because we're going to send Oliver Tree off in style. So I'll be doing that. Shout out to my eldest little brother, graduating from the 5th grade, I want to say, and so I'll be doing that during the day. But I also just want to give some quick shots of what we'll be talking about since media is back. So there will be coverage of House of Dragons, and yes, that's right, Bex, coverage of Interview with a Vampire season 3. And bro, if you have not seen the first episode, it is fire. Louis.
As a matter of fact, that's something we missed this episode right now. We should have talked about television. We got Widow's Bay, Interview with the Vampire season 3. We've got House of the Dragon premiere. There's so much going on television. Like entertainment is back, and I love it.
Yes, it is. And we are back, and we're always going to be here with you to the bitter end.
Till the bitter end. You can't get rid of me. I'm in your head, eating slowly away at your brain. But anyway, this is Pat Mantis signing off. This is Fanboy Modeling School ending this bad boy. Until next time, ciao.